Hello guys, welcome back to Car Obsession and welcome to another walk around. This walk around is going to seem a little bit random. This is a Sunday morning, it is about 7:15 and I'm in a Morrison's car park. Other supermarkets are available. You join me with the new Kia e-Niro. Now you may wonder why I'm filming this in a car park. Well, it's because the car is, Aaron, there we go, the car is currently on charge. Anyway, I will get onto why I'm charging the car here and not at home in a bit. But anyway, let me talk you through the car. Let me show you the front. Right. So here we have it, guys. The new Kia e-Niro. This is the second electric car to come from the South Korean brand. The first one, in case you are wondering, was the Seoul EV. So as always, I will take you around the car, talk you through the specification and also give you my initial impressions. I was hoping to film this video yesterday, but the weather was absolutely awful, so that's why I'm doing it this morning. So for the UK market, the e-Niro lineup is very, very simple because there's only one choice of battery and one choice of trim level, which is the first edition. As standard, you get 17-inch alloys, you get chrome detailing, tinted rear windows. You don't get LED headlights, these are halogen, but you do get LED daytime running lights. And at the back, the rear lights are also LEDs. So let's quickly speak about the design. I like the front end. The back end, I'm not too sure, I don't know, it just kind of looks, not clunky, but I don't know, I think it just kind of looks a bit flat. The front end though, I do think looks pretty sharp. I think the e-Niro looks really good in this colour as well. This colour is graphite, kind of a dark grey, and it looks really good with the contrasting blue touch. It's kind of teal, aquamarine kind of colour. Let me take you on the inside. Keyless entry as standard, but the car is already unlocked. As you can see, the car is charging. It's going to be an hour until I get it to 80%. The interior, some may say it is a little bit dark and a little bit bland, but me personally, I prefer it to the Nissan Leaf and the Hyundai Kona Electric. I think this feels a bit more upmarket and overall just a nicer place in which to sit. You have leather upholstery. The front seats are ventilated and heated, and I also have a heated steering wheel as well. Let me step in. Ugh. Take the weight off my feet. So let's give you a proper look on the inside. You've got nice detailing here, gloss black detailing. Yeah, I like the inside. Yes, it is a bit dark, but like I've said, I do prefer it to the Leaf and the Kona Electric. Just turn the car on. As standard, I've got an 8-inch touchscreen, which has DAB radio, navigation, Bluetooth and smartphone connectivity. I've got climate control. As I've mentioned, I've got the heated seats and the heated steering wheel. There are a few buttons in here, but I think it's just enough. I think any more would be a little bit of an overload. But what I like about Kia is that it is very simplistic, quite straightforward. So you've got the shortcut buttons, and it's very self-evident what they do. Radio is for radio, media is for media, map is for map, and so forth. I've spoken about this before, so I don't want to sound like I'm repeating myself. So you've got a digital instrument display here. Let's see if I can take you through the options. Let me zoom in a little bit. So on the right hand side you have your speed, of course, and on the left hand side you have your range. You do actually have a choice of driving mode. So I've got a button down here marked drive mode. Press it like so and you'll see I've got sport, eco and normal. And actually let me just pause on each one so you can see how the display changes. So that is sport, That's eco, and that's normal. Also, when you change the driving mode, you get a little display on the touchscreen as well. So obviously that's sport, so you have the checker flag on the floor, and it's red. Red normally indicates sport. Eco, a bit calmer, gives you a nice kind of blue colour, and the normal is just a kind of white. Right, okie dokie. So yeah, this does have a lot of kit. I've also got front and rear parking sensors and a reversing camera. So if I pop the car into reverse, I actually need to turn it on properly. Oh, okay, I can't start the car because it's charging of course, but this car does have a rear view camera. The resolution isn't the best, sorry, and at night time it's not overly great, but you know, it does do its job. So in case you're wondering about prices, the Kia e-Niro is £32,995. That's more than the cheapest Nissan Leaf. Actually, it's probably a bit more than the mid-range Nissan Leaf, if I'm going to be honest. But it's less than the Kona Electric, which is, of course, its sister car. Personally, I think the e-Niro makes more sense because this is the biggest car out of the three, and it has the biggest range. Speaking of which, I haven't spoken about the range. I'll do that in a little bit, actually. Let me move on to the storage. So there are a fair few cubby holes in here. I've got a door bin which isn't overly big. I can't fit a big bottle of water in here. Well, you can get one in, but it doesn't really fit properly. So really, you're probably looking at a 500ml bottle or a 750ml bottle. And you've got a bit of space left over for a few snacks. So I've got, what's this? I think it's a parking ticket from yesterday. Yeah. In the middle, you've got loads of storage, actually. Oh, I've just realised I'm all the way zoomed in. Let me zoom out. So you've got a shelf where you can pop your smartphone, and this does have wireless phone charging. However, if I'm going to be honest, it hasn't worked with my phone. I've got a Samsung Galaxy S10, so I'm not too sure why it doesn't appear to be compatible. That is a little bit weird. You've got a cubby hole down here where you can pop a few other items. I sometimes like to put my wallet in there. In the middle, you have two cup holders, and these are similar to the cup holders I had in the Seat Tarraco I had a few months ago. So press the button, and voila, they come out like so. The only problem is that they only come out so far, and what I mean by that is in the Seat Tarraco, they would really pinch your drink and clamp it in place, whereas the e-Niro doesn't do that. So let's say your bottle wasn't quite this size, this clamp isn't going to hold it in place properly, so the bottle will move about a bit. Annoyingly, I don't have a bottle with me, so I do apologise, but I will cut to a clip that demonstrates what I mean. But if you don't want to use the cup holders, you can just use it as a general cubby hole, and if you don't want to use it at all, and you can use that bit of trim to cover it up to make the inside look a little bit neater. You've got a centre armrest which can be lifted up for more storage. As you can see, I've got one of my GoPro mounts in there. You've got a USB port in here, like so. I do like the way how it's lit up so it's easier to see in the dark. A simple touch, but an effective one. I've got two more USB ports here, one in the middle and one on the right hand side. Once more, it is lit up. And on the left hand side, I have a 12 volt socket. Actually, let's tell you what. So let me turn that air conditioning down. Sorry, it's probably annoying you on the audio. I've got a sunglasses holder, which has been pretty pointless this week in the UK because the weather has been absolutely awful. But it's handy to have one of those nonetheless. And last but not least, I do get a glove box, of course, which offers a decent enough amount of space. So I've got some paperwork in there. That's the owner's manual. So not overly massive, but it should be big enough for a few snacks for a road trip or any other items you may want to put there. Well, any items that fit, of course. I've just realised I've forgotten to mention I do have a JBL sound system, again as standard. There we go, it's an 8-speaker sound system. It sounds pretty good. It's not the best sound system I've had in a car, but nor is it the worst. Right, okay, so what else can I speak about in the cabin? Oh, I can talk you through the safety features. So I've got Lane keep assist, I've got lane departure warning, I've got autonomous emergency braking, but I don't have blind spot warning, which is a little bit disappointing, bearing in mind you can get that feature on other Niro models, but never mind. But yeah, this car does have a fair few safety features, and it also has 7 airbags. This car is yet to be crash tested by Euro NCAP, but I'd be surprised if it doesn't get 5 stars, or at least 4 stars, because it does have a fair amount of safety kit. Right, okay, actually, how easy is it to get a comfortable driving position? Well, it is very easy. The steering wheel adjusts for rake and reach, and it has a good level of adjustment. And my driver's seat is 8-way electronically adjustable, which is a feature you can't get for the Nissan Leaf. And if you wanted it in the Kona Electric, you'd have to get the premium SE trim level, which will cost you more money. Now, why won't this lock back into place? Bear with me. The steering wheel has gone on strike. There we go. For some reason, the lever didn't want to lock back into place. Right, so let me step into the rear so I can show you rear space. You may have spotted this button here that says VESS. You may think, what is that? That is the vehicle engine sound system, which sounds a little bit silly because this doesn't have an engine. But anyway, what this basically means is speeds up to 17 miles per hour, the car will make a kind of ambient noise, so pedestrians can hear it coming, although it's not particularly loud. But anyway, I don't understand why it stops at 17 miles per hour. But never mind. Let me just turn the car off, actually. Don't need a time being. There we go. So as always, the driver's seat has been set for me. I'm 6'2", so I am of course a taller chap. Let me step in like so. All these seats are really nice and comfy. I'll tell you what, their headrest, it feels like it's made of memory foam. It's really nice and spongy. It's glorious. Anyway, back onto the rear space. Apologies, it is a little bit dark in here. But as you can see, or hopefully see, I've got plenty of knee room. Look at that. And I've got loads of leg room as well. So that is very, very impressive. Headroom isn't quite as impressive, if I'm going to be honest. So if I turn you guys around, I haven't got a lot of room spare, but for the majority of adults, headroom will be absolutely fine. Speaking of adults, could you fit 3 adults in the back? No, I don't think so. The middle seat is quite slim, and you've also got a little bit of a transmission tunnel down here as well. You won't really be able to see it because of the light. But yes, I think fitting 3 adults in the rear will be difficult, but for 3 children, it should be fine. Of course, you've got ISOFIX points. And if you only happen to have 1 or 2 people in the rear, they can make use of the centre armrest. Put it down like so. And as you can see, you've got 2 cup holders in here. So that's good for practicality and good for comfort as well. Rest your elbow on that for a long trip. Very nice indeed. Speaking of cup holders or storage, I've got a door bin here which isn't overly massive, and you can't even see it. Let me open the door. It's not overly massive, but you can fit a smaller bottle of drink in there, like 500 millilitres. And you also have a bit of netting here as well for a little bit of extra storage. Right, okay, let's step into, well, I was going to say step into the boot. I'm not going to step into it, but I will show you it. Oh. Guys, I do apologise if the car is dirty. Thankfully, it doesn't look quite as dirty on camera as it is in real life. But yeah, I know I keep saying it, but the weather has been bad. So yeah, the car's dirty. I do apologise. Right, open up the boot. And as you can see, you've got some of my filming crap in here. But I will cut to a clip where the boot is empty. However, let me speak about the capacity. So this offers 451 litres, which is more than the Nissan Leaf and also more than the Hyundai Kona Electric. The Kona Electric has 334 litres and the Nissan Leaf has 435 litres. As mentioned, this has 451. So this is the biggest boot. There is a little bit of a step into it, but nothing major. The load lip is low though. And as you can see, the opening is nice and practical. If you want more space, you can of course fold down the 60/40 rear seats to give you 1,405 litres. In case you're wondering where the charging cables are kept, they are under here. So that's your one you use for your 3-pin wall socket, and there is another one at the back which I can't quite get to because I've got my stuff there. You don't get a spare wheel as standard, but you do get a tyre repair kit which is underneath here. So you have to lift this out to get to the tyre repair kit. Right. So let me speak about the range and the power and so forth. Let me come this way because that's quite noisy, so I don't want it to affect the audio. So as I mentioned earlier, there's only one choice of battery for the e-Niro for the UK. So this car is made with a choice of 2 batteries for other markets. So you have a 39 kilowatt hour capacity, or you have a 64 kilowatt hour capacity. The UK market gets the latter, so we get the larger battery, which gives you more range, of course. Speaking of range, it's about time I tell you it. So this offers 282 miles, which is a fair bit more than the Nissan Leaf if you go for the smaller battery in the Leaf, and it is a little bit more than the Kona Electric. So the Kona Electric, from memory, has 279, I believe. So there's not much in it, but of course these are made on the same platform. Right, so the electric motor, it offers 204 horsepower with 395 newton meters of torque. If you prefer that in pound-feet, that is 291. That is exactly the same as what you get from the Kona Electric, by the way, because of course, as I mentioned, it is the same platform. In regards to performance, you'll hit 60 miles per hour in a respectable 7.5 seconds, and the top speed is 104 miles per hour. And let me tell you, this thing is pretty rapid, especially when you put it into sport mode. So yeah, this may look a little bit unassuming, but this is a little bit of a rocket. Yeah, this is quite a fun car to drive, even though it's kind of an electric family crossover, and this can be quite entertaining. But let me give you one more look at the car. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. Don't forget, whenever I do a review now, I have a segment called Ask Aaron, whereby you can ask me questions about the car. So yes, if you do have a question, drop it in the comment section, pop a hashtag Ask Aaron, and I will do my best to answer your question in my review. But yes, I think it's about time to end there. So yes, there we have it, the new Kia e-Niro. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If so, be sure to like, subscribe and to ring my bell so you get notified every time I make a video. But until the next time guys, be sure to keep up the car obsession.